Okay, we are live on Facebook and we're recording. I'm John Mercer, professor over in Kinesiology and Nutrition Sciences and co-director of the Sports Research and Innovation Initiative, along with Nancy Lyle, co-director, and then Jay Vickers, our business development director. So this is our Sports Research Innovation Initiative podcast that we've started. And the whole idea behind this podcast is for researchers to get to know researchers. And there is such a wealth of expertise here at UNLV and such a breadth of work that people do in the sports research area, sports science area. That's really going to be, it's sort of fun doing these talks. And I'm really going to enjoy talking with Dr. Wang today, Zhiyong John Wang, to hear a little bit more about his work here at UNLV. Hey, John, how's it going?
Good, very good. It's a pleasure meeting you here.
Yeah.
Over Zoom here. It's just such a nice day and talking about this exciting project here.
Yeah, no, that's great. And now John is over in mechanical engineering. And John, how long have you been at UNLV?
I've been here quite a while. It's like 20 years. So time flies by really fast.
It does. It is amazing. And so tell us a little bit about your journey in getting to UNLV.
Well, before I was here, I was in Ohio with Ohio Northern University there. And even before that, I was in Lincoln, Nebraska University, Nebraska, Lincoln. And even before that, I was in New York City University at Binghamton there. And before that, I was in Germany. I was a postdoc scientist there for 2 years with Aachen Technological University there. And so it's kind of quite a journey. And it's exciting coming to Las Vegas. At the time, it's a much smaller city. Now it's much bigger, and the school, the university also gets bigger too.
Well, those are some fabulous places to be at. I haven't been where you mentioned in Germany, but I've been to the other places, not lived in other places. But Binghamton, New York, you've spent time in Binghamton, huh?
Oh, yeah.
I'm from upstate New York, Troy, Albany area, and did my undergrad training over in Buffalo, New York. So, and I was on the swim team, so we would go to Binghamton quite a bit to compete with them. So,
wow, that was 1993.
Yeah. That's a little colder back then, a little bit more snow too.
Yeah, sometimes we call it a blizzard. It's like 3 feet. You can hardly open your door in the morning.
Yes, and here we are in the Southwest where, a cold day is maybe in the 50s and we're complaining, right?
Yeah, right. And my shovels, I have 3 of them in the garage. Haven't touched them for 20 years.
No, you can't shovel sunshine, that's for sure. So
You're absolutely right.
Well, John, that's quite a journey. That's really neat to hear that you've landed here at UNLV and that we've attracted you to UNLV. So can you tell us a little bit about the types of courses that you teach and the type of students that you work with?
I teach one type of course is called senior design. I've been teaching those courses, since I get here, and this is a course goes for 2 semesters. And students in the past we have like 20-ish. Now we have 40-ish. The class size has been doubled. We have more energetic and also innovative students. They come and join us. They look for projects, and it can be any kind. And you always see the talents, and that's why I tell you, we forget our own age. Because they are so young, they have a lot of great ideas they work on using engineering principles they learned in school, and they work on those kind of projects and making prototypes. That's a good journey for them, and that's also a good journey for us. Another type of class I teach are manufacturing related. I teach students how to make a product. Doesn't matter what kind. When you look at the products, you better figure out how to make them. Manufacturing is not like math, 1 + 1 = 2 only. Manufacturing means you can take all different kind of journey, end up the same place there. different way to make products, and there are ways for better accuracy. There are ways for more economical. There are ways just based on what available to you at your location at that time. So it's fascinating and also exciting all the time to me.
Yeah, I imagine working with students on their senior design projects is extremely exciting. I've been over to your senior design week and I've seen some of the projects, and my goodness, they're innovative. And so it must be a lot of fun teaching and working with students and sort of helping them frame their ideas into something workable.
Exactly. And also sometimes it's a two-way approach. We learn a lot from them too,
Yep.
and they learn something, knowledge and discipline and the strategy approaching projects. And we learn a lot more from them too. You know, they are so young, so talented there. You just always find you got surprised by our great students here.
That's great. Well, and so I'm not surprised that the faculty over there are very innovative as well. And you're doing some really innovative work with our Sports Research Innovation Initiative. We were able to help fund some faculty work via the Catalyst program. And you have a really interesting project that is sport related. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Oh yeah, this project started from a year ago. You know, kind of like because the spring break. You know, right now we are in the break. It was last year the spring break, and the in-person class suddenly turned into online. That's the time because the pandemic suddenly just get here unexpected. And
Mhm.
from that time on, I started working on a few projects there, try to find out if there is a way we can clean up airborne virus. If that can be detected and cleaned up, that everybody come back to class and we will be able to do in-person class. We will be able to get to conference room, and casinos and restaurant, all the business can also get in person as well. So that was the starting point. And at that time, I was working on something related to with temperature, find out what temperature we can disinfect COVID-19 virus. And from there, we identified certain critical temperatures that, the COVID-19 virus are RNAs encapsulated with S protein, that's the spikes on the surface there. If we could disinfect them, capture them, then we can get air cleaner. That's the starting point, and we submit a provisional patent and get economic development office interested and filed for the provisional patent there, and so also get seed funding to develop some kind of prototypes there. And we try to get a precision type of prototype or device that we can precisely find out at what temperature when air flows through that kind of device, virus will be killed or disinfected, to be more precise there. So that's the starting point. Then later on, and my son, younger son, at the time, he was on campus, contacted me talking about the disruption of his school. And he just stayed at Stanford School and couldn't do anything there either. And he said, his prior project he worked on that a few years ago with a pharmaceutical company there. And he noticed something with COVID-19 that can be trapped by their very distinctive nano-size feature there. And he made a small device there and test on himself. And at the time, he also has, I think, 3 or 4 friends got COVID-19 virus there, and the test on them as well, and find out, they can tell when virus are coming out of a human breath there. But after that, his school shut down. His school is kind of like our school. It's like a ghost town. There is not many people there around anymore. And at the time, I asked, made a few requests from UNLV if we could test them. And we got a lot of great support from the Economic Development Office and also from UNLV, like a human resource department. They have a special division working on human subject related research. They also give a lot of support there, clarify that, this is a project at this current stage. There is no need to get IRB approval, which is very important in the documentation to us. And later on, we find out similar work done by other schools. They also clarified through IRB process. They do not need to go through IRB approval either. Like I think the 2 quick antigen tests used by the UNLV athletes here, and they have been used here. They got approved by FDA, but they are not required for IRB approval either. So those are the things I learned through the process there. And also, of course, UNLV athletes, they give us a lot of support. We were able to testing them. We have a lot of good data here. The very good news is, the test data we collect every day, we give us a bigger database so we can analyze the information. There is a bad news there too. That is, so far, all the athletes, they are independent tested by the quick antigen test. It's all negative. That's good news to all the athletes. They are negative. But sometimes, we do need positive data to calibrate, to build up algorithm for our equipment here, and that is what we are trying to do at this point here for the research work we are doing. And at this point, we can tell, kind of like, with this kind, we call it X healer at this point. Just put next to somebody and you check on the breath there, within 5 seconds, and you already know this person is at risk or not. This person is spreading virus or not. So that's a very good way to know. However, the data, we have only a few hundreds. We need a lot more. And also we need somebody already positive to build up our database there. So that's the work we are doing at this point right now.
That's super interesting. I mean, boy, you're right. It was a year ago that this all really started to, appear in front of us. And so, wow, what an amazing step forward you've taken in that short period of time. So you're collecting air samples and you're able to detect whether or not there's virus in the air.
Yes.
That's amazing.
A healthy person, they're supposed not to spread the virus anyway. Neither bacteria, airborne bacteria, virus, when they do spread them out, they do have some kind of health issues related. When you spread virus constantly, and that person should not be in classroom, should not be in a conference room, should not be in a close contact with other people, which, that's something I did not think of before the pandemic. Now I realize, we do need clean water, we need clean food, and also we need clean air as well. That's the third one. I did not think before. I know clean food, clean water are important. Now I know clean air is also important too.
Oh, wow. And that's what you're doing. I mean, that's the next step, is then to filter the air. Once you can detect it, is then to remove it. So we
have been building a few prototypes there, which air goes in and virus get trapped there, and clean air comes out. We have been building those devices and have been contacting labs. We contact like 8-ish already in the country there, and most of them are fully packed. When you ask them, can I run a test? Can you run a test? Either way, they will say, we are already packed for next year even. If you come here next year, this year we have no time for you. There is one place they could, but they ask for like minimally $50,000. I think it's RTI on the East Coast. They have a lab. They can do similar tests. They cannot do COVID-19, but they can do coronavirus test there. only a few places they are available for this kind of testing at this point. Most of them just fully packed.
That's fantastic. I mean, it's really, really cutting edge work, obviously really cutting edge work because it's so contemporary. Now, I imagine you're collaborating with some other folks as well, or you probably learned to work with some epidemiologists at some point, because this is this topic crosses so many different areas. It's really neat to see you attack it from an engineering perspective, but it really has such a big social impact.
Exactly. This is something you look for experts can work with you. That's
Mhm.
what I'm looking for too. And fortunately, from the very beginning, and we do have people from an organization called the Entrepreneur Assembly,
Mhm.
and that's an organization working with Economic Development Office, and they have been working with me and also finding contacts from everywhere to collaborate. And also UMC,
Mhm.
Southern Nevada Health District, they all have been in contact with us. And, and also UNLV Medical School, Dr. Koo, Deborah Koo. I had numerous web campus meeting with her, and also her contacts. She knows everybody,
Yeah.
and that's a great thing. And she
Mm.
bring everybody to the table and have discussion and brainstorming, and also looking for ways for testing there. So it's wonderful there.
That's fantastic. Well, John, you're doing some fantastic work. I told you we'd keep you for about 15 minutes, and we've already gone longer than that because this is such an interesting topic. But I'm really glad you came on and explained the work that you're doing and talked a bit about what you do with your students. And really, it's a pleasure to hear your story in terms of getting here to UNLV. So thank you very much for being part of this.
Thank you too.
All right. Have a good rest of the day.